run, manage the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
First carry for Chris Ivory. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
To throw. He's going to look deep down the field. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on. 3rd down. The starters now defensively for Baltimore.
Time for us to feature cornerback Jimmy Smith, and he's the guy that I would love to match up one-on-one against any of these tall, long receivers that can run in the NFL, because that fits his frame and it fits his game. He's a guy who can turn and run with anyone and also go up and contest just about any ball thrown.
They'll look to throw. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Terrell Suggs in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. So now the Ravens getting ready for their first go on offense. They'll be led out by their quarterback. In his 10th year now from Delaware, it's Joe Flacco.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Woodhead. Once more the juke. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. The numbers on the ground for Woodhead last week. 16 carries, 69 yards.
I was so glad you asked for a couple of offensive linemen to talk to before the game, because they told us that in last week's contest, everything was clicking. Didn't matter whether they were doing gap scheme, zone scheme, power, whatever it was working. And they expect more of the same in this game, although they're prepared for some adjustments by the defense they expect to see.
And time to take a look at the Jaguar defense.
When the 2016 NFL Draft concluded, many people looked at Jacksonville and thought, boy, what a steal they got in Jalen Ramsey at cornerback and Myles Jack at linebacker. But Yannick Ngakoue out of Maryland, he ended up finishing 2nd in the AFC among rookies in sacks with 8, and they got a steal at outside linebacker.
Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Here we go.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he rifles one incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on 3rd after that incompletion. They'll look to throw here. And Robinson with a big catch. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. He sets to fire deep. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
But depending on the team, they'd call that an explosive play or a chunk play, the one that they got on the previous one. They tried to go back and get another one, didn't they?
They did, but unsuccessful on that 2nd attempt. Henning. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Tyus Bowser in there to bring him down, and it'll be a play to remember for that young man, the first sack of his NFL career.
One thing they definitely like about this youngster is his motor. He is full throttle on each and every snap. Loves to get after the quarterback, and that has to feel good to him right there. His first career sack.
Now Henning. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Tyus Bowser in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? 3rd and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
Nortman on to kick as he sends it away. Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. The last couple of drives have ended in punts. Maybe the crowd minds that, but you're a defensive guy. You're okay with a couple of punt drives.
Listen, I'm the guy that loves a 0-0 pitch game. All right? In baseball, I can handle that going into the 7th inning. I think the crowd, though, they want to see a little bit more excitement. Let's see if someone can break something free on offense and get going.
Offense at a premium the last 2 drives. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on 1st down.
And he'll be knocked down sideways. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. We were just talking about him pregame. 3 tackles for a loss. Last week you thought he looked so explosive on film. Starting off good there. Another one in the 1st quarter.
He's every bit of what you described. And I don't want to make it too simplistic, but right now for him, it's see ball, get ball. And that's what he's doing really, really well, and he's doing it in the offense's backfield. When you're trying to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection is struggling. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. The drive begins with a run by Ivory. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Again, they run. Again, it's Ivory. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on third down. The Jaguars on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Here we go.
Back to throw here. And this is going to be incomplete.
The goal of anyone running a curl route is to make sure you try and get defenders on your back and shield them away from the football. But sometimes, even when you run a good route, the defense finds a way to knock it away.
Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here's Brad Nordman now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. That's taken on the 25. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. 1st and 10 here for Flacco. And his throw here is incomplete. He was looking for Nick Boyle that time. And now it's 2nd down. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
They run with Woodhead. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Hitting out a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Third down, Flacco from the gun, and that's complete. It's Watson, and he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Getting the sense Charles are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And despite the good footwork, he'll be hit and dropped shy of the 45. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Flacco from the gun. Finds his man, Watson, over the middle. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
It's Williams on the catch. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They run again with Woodhead. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Danny Woodhead, his second touchdown on the season. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
At the end of one, 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. As we'll see one following the score on the final play. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And we shift our attention now to Chris Ivory. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down. Back to the ground on first down. Again, Ivory trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. They set up the screen to Ivory. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
They'll set up to throw. And incomplete as the screen there unsuccessful. So now 4th down coming up.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They'll try and throw for it here. And that's complete to Lewis. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 24 that time. And the Jags are going to have a first down.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
First down, he'll drop to throw it. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Tyus Bowser getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. You add in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
A reminder coming up in the Sunday night game, matchup you don't see very often. A rematch of Super Bowl 18. The Raiders traveling to Washington. And then tomorrow on Monday night, we'll see the Cowboys heading to the desert to take on the Cardinals.
Former NFC East rivals. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Miles Jack from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Man, blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack. Now it's Flacco. He'll drop it underneath for Woodhead. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking first down.
So a loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. Well, that was better than the first go-around when he lost yardage, but still nothing there, and that sets up a 3rd and long. Tough spot here.
Put it mildly. Sometimes I wonder if some of that...
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
Was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Jags. Now, they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
The screen was executed and completed, but where's the worry on the play? How many times is a quarterback going to get hit? Because offensive linemen have to do an acting job of making sure it looks like they're whiffing on blocks. But you got to slow them down a little bit, because if you don't, that's a lot of big guys coming at your quarterback in a big, fast way. And, boy, he can get hurt.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. So a change of possession here on the punt. They'll start on the ground here with Woodhead. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
On the ground, this is Woodhead. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6. Operating out of the gun, Flacco. And that is incomplete. Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Taking it about the 16. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he is out of bounds, getting it across the 30-yard line. A Jacksonville 1st down on a pickup of 17.
All right, say it with me now. A lot of different words we come up with. Maybe we go back and forth after that play, getting his toes tapped down to make that catch. Crafty.
Yep.
Wiley. Oh, definitely.
All the veteran names.
You name it. Has every move in the book and continued to get better throughout his career so he can make that type of a catch. Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the 2nd quarter, it has been a struggle. They stay on the ground. Ivory again. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Doesn't take any great analysis on my part. It's been pretty obvious. Last couple plays, these guys been going in the wrong direction.
Offensive line overwhelmed on those plays. Now, I think it's safe to say going to the air here on 3rd. Third and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right, and it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge, and it's going to bring up 4th down. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. Now here's Danny Woodhead. He and the offense gearing up to take the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Here's Flacco. On the screen, this is Woodhead. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
To pass, Flacco. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Caleb Brantley in there to drop him, and that will go into the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Here's Sam Cook now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Larry Ridley in Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is brought in at the 21. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Back to throw. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Now the Jags are moving quickly in the hurry-up. They're going to look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. First down, this is Ivory. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing. And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And incomplete here on third down. He is just not at his focus in this game. It's not one drop. It's not two. That's 3 for this contest.
Yeah, uncharacteristic for any NFL receiver, and he's no exception. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Setting up to throw, Flacco. So the incomplete pass brings up second down. Flacco. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. The Ravens on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Flacco. Quick slant. That's caught by the veteran Macklin. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you now to Orlando to check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, LR.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Both the Jaguars and the Ravens are having some trouble moving the ball through the air. The yardage totals are low, and that's helped play into what was a low-scoring first half. All right, let's roll those moving pictures. Now 1st and 10, Woodhead's got it on the run, and he'll end up sprinting into the end zone as they take a 7-0 lead. Now midway through the second, defense will get to the QB here. This ends up as a huge loss in yardage. They have it at the 44-yard line. Flacco's going to find his mark. He ends up at the 44-yard line before he stopped on the play. That'll do it for us here at EA Sports Studios. Let's get back out to Brandon and Charles for the call of the second half. Brandon.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. They begin the drive with Woodhead. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
So 2nd and 10 here. Passing play. Flacco. Over the middle, complete. That's Watson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
1st and 10 here for Flacco. Looking for the out route. It's complete to Macklin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Now a hit, and Flacco drops the football. It's loose. And the Jags grab it. The 30. And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. So they were down by a touchdown, probably just hoping the defense could hold them, maybe force the punt. Instead, they force the turnover and take it into the house.
Well, the plan was perfect. That's exactly what they wanted. Instead, they got a lot more than that. Big-time capitalization by taking the ball away and putting it in the end zone.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And it's no good. He misses the extra point, and this remains a 7-6 game. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number one because margin for error is starting to slip away. And now it's down to a 1-score game.
They'll go with Woodhead to start the drive. Had the nifty footwork, but only able to get it to his own 20. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Now it's Woodhead. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Flacco, he's got a 1st down past the 30. And eventually taken down, but how about that athletic spin move we saw? Gives him the 1st down yardage. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Flacco looks to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Eluding the pressure right. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Even though that one was incomplete, you could see the training that went into that play. He gets out of the pocket, ends up moving to his right. All he's trying to do, though, extend the life of the play. Keep it alive, hoping someone would pop free.
Was able to take a pretty good shot with a deep ball, but incomplete. Now Henning. Forced out to his left. And incomplete on the deep ball.
The best receivers we know always tease their quarterbacks that, hey, no matter what you do, you cannot overthrow me. Well, guess what? That's exactly what happened on that play. Normally, they time it up pretty well, but on that one, he just overshot him.
And we'll see what he can do on the return. Shifts past him at the 45. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Now here's Danny Woodhead. He and the offense gearing up to take the field. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the one touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone. And now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage. And, again, that second score here in the third quarter. Here's Woodhead, and he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
And they still need 8 yards for the first here on second down. Flacco from midfield. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Flacco hooking up with Wallace for a Raven first down.
Well, he obviously read man coverage there, partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
think. What do you mean by that, bro?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, then he curls back inside for the completion.
Now Flacco looking middle, and it's incomplete. The tight end, Max Williams, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. 2nd and 10. Flacco once more. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They fake the handoff. Now Flacco to pass. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Caleb Brantley in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that. Escaping the pressure right. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith.
Some things you just accept as fact in the NFL, and one that is true, the Baltimore Ravens are going to attack you on defense and create turnovers and takeaways. Their secondary had 18 interceptions in 2016.
And that was tied for the most in the league. They'll run it now out of the gun. They juked him and able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. Flacco off play action. Letting one go deep. That is caught by Maclin for a Raven touchdown. Jeremy Maclin, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens turn that interception into a touchdown. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play. And just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give him a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
They'll try to get the running game going here with Ivory. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Back to throw here. They set up the screen to Ivory. And they get him down, but not before he takes.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Flushed out right. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Chris Wormley in there to bring him down, and it'll be a play to remember for that young man. The first sack of his NFL career.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And now the offense will look to respond after the sack. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. Not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This is 3rd and 10.
Here we go. Right 18.
He'll drop to throw. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Here's Brad Nordman now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. All right, let's look now at Jeremy Maclin. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far, he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now, they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But, boy, he can explode at any moment.
Yeah, and when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Makes you hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way.
Flacco fakes the give, sets to throw. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route, complete. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And he's got his man. That's Maclin. And he's going to get this one down right to the edge of the red zone of the chalk of the 20. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Now a handoff here to his running back. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
It's the Ravens in control of the... Let's see what the offense comes with here. 2nd and 8. And now here's a carry heading left. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take. Puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1.
Now that's a big pickup right there, and so often we focus on how the quarterback's faking on play action. How about everyone being in on the deal and picking it up?
2nd, 3rd levels, you can see. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Telvin Smith in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here's Flacco toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Ben Watson was the intended target, the tight end. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Back-to-back great plays defensively. You get the sack on 1st and goal. A great job in coverage there. All of a sudden, they're looking at 3rd and goal from further back than when they started.
And the really good play callers look ahead and down and distance sequence. Now he's got to backtrack a little bit and go maybe off his play sheet to try and dial something up here.
And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that will extend their lead here to 17-6. So a big one there as that gives them a little cushion.
And you know, here in the 4th quarter, the fact that they were able to bleed some time off the clock and put points on the board, even if it's only 3, that could turn out to be the drive that ultimately wins them the game.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Tyus Bowser. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here we go.
Looking to throw. And this one's incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity to just want to ride there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been stymied left and right. Converted only 1 time. This will be 3rd and a mile. They'll drop to throw. They go with a screen. It's Yeldon. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 8 yards on the screen there. Not enough. And it'll be 4th down.
Here we go. Here we go. Right 20. Right 20.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And they're going to try the screen. It's complete. And he's not able to get away. He is stopped well short of a first down. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. Now they try the right side here. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off at the 15. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
Jacksonville made plenty of changes in their coaching staff in the offseason, but they kept the defensive staff mainly intact. They're going to need a better payoff. They only had 7 interceptions as a group last year.
Good to get the nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Terrell Suggs in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. Third down now. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And incomplete as the screen there unsuccessful. So now 4th down coming up.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back at New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast.
And this is caught at the 20. Unable to corral him. He fights through. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
And now a first down following that long gain. They'll try to run with Woodhead. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Did your high school have that same push them back cheer?
I was a kicker.
Well, it certainly worked. Didn't matter whether we were kickers or not. That one worked, didn't it? They pushed him back at his last snap of the ball, and boy, they created a nice play for themselves. Would they lose 3 on that one?
Yeah, from the 1 back to the 4. Ben Watson was the intended target. And it's 3rd down.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. Under pressure, and Flacco's going to be dropped. Calais Campbell in there with pressure yet again, and that's the 7th time they've dropped him here this afternoon. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the 4th.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give them some breathing room and lets them build up a little cushion.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. That goes for a gain of 31. To throw here on first down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's second down.
Ready. White 20. White
20. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. Now a handoff left. It's Ivory. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And they're going to speed things up here. The play fake. He'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And stepped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. On the ground, Ivory. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Let's go now. White 20. White 20.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it.
Blitz comes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. And the play clock's running down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. So they decline the penalty. That seems a little odd.
I'm trying to work through it and work with them to figure out why.
Well, someone's got to be confused.
That's what I think. I'm pretty sure that the bench is saying take the penalty, and somehow in the heat of the moment, they thought they were saying decline the penalty, and that's going to work against them. They should have taken it.
And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. Now a handoff as they run left side. Despite some tough running, he's still wrangled down shy of the 15. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave him with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So following the run, we'll see what they do here on 3rd down. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Here's Sam Cook now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Fielded at the 33. So possession goes over here on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal with the offense. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Tyus Bowser with a pick, and they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
And to give this time to the tailback. And not a whole lot doing there, so get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone getting the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach, he's in big trouble.
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. To a knee goes Flacco, and that should be it. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Baltimore, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars,